Takalopalahi atu. Kia ora ana. You're listening to RNZ Pacific.
RNZ News at 10. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Todd Zaner. Criminal investigations have begun into 3 police staff in relation to misuse and inappropriate content on work computers and phones. Acting Deputy Police Commissioner Jill Rogers has told RNZ 6 out of 20 staff under investigation in relation to misuse and inappropriate content have been stood down. Those 6 are being investigated for serious matters ranging from potentially accessing objectionable material or accessing inappropriate material, while also subject to separate misconduct matters. Jill Rogers says criminal investigations are being conducted into 3 of the cases. The coalition is in the throes of internal warfare, with Winston Peters and David Seymour swinging barbs over the Regulatory Standards Act. Here's our acting political editor, Craig McCulloch.
In a stunning about-face from Mr. Peters, the New Zealand's First Leader has pledged to revoke the Regulatory Standards Act next term, despite voting for it just last week. That is, he's honoured the coalition agreement, and is now free to express his view that the law is anti-democratic. This prompted an extraordinary rebuke from ex-leader David Seymour, who says Mr. Peters looks like he's gearing up to jump ship to a Labour coalition. To that, Mr. Peters just laughed and then began attacking Labour. The Prime Minister insists the coalition's not falling apart, and the parties are free to set out their election policies.
Feral cats will be added to predator-free 2050s hit list. It's a sharp change of policy revealed to RNZ by Conservation Minister Tama Potaka. Ra Hancock has the story.
Tama Potaka says feral cats are stone-cold killers. She told RNZ they will join what he calls their buddies, stoats, ferrets, weasels and rats and possums, on the list for eradication. The announcement comes ahead of the full release of an updated predator-free 2050 strategy due out early next year. The inclusion of feral cats into predator-free 2050 was promised by both Christopher Luxon and Chris Hipkins in a 2023 election debate. Earlier this week, Chris Hipkins said the Prime Minister was out of touch with New Zealanders for not acting on his promise.
The Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment says play sand potentially contaminated with asbestos could have been on sale for the past 10 years. Retail giant Kmart has sold 67,000 units of coloured children's sand across 4 products. That number doesn't include suspect products sold through different retailers. MB's product safety spokesperson Ian Kaplan says some of the products have been sold as far back as 10 years ago.
The Kmart products, which we have 4 products, and that is a large number. There are around 67,000 units that have been sold over a wide period of time. Just looking at the product safety website, depending on the colour, and there's quite a lot of detail in there, since 2015.
Ian Kaplan says there are now about 20 different types of sand being recalled. At the Auckland Council Asbestos Lab in Grafton, Learning and Support Coordinator Jane Woodhill was shocked to get confirmation the contaminated sand was at the intermediate school where she works.
I think most people are horrified that it wasn't tested before it came into the country. When it came in, it should have been checked that it was safe for kids to use. Kids love it. It's a scary thing.
Worried teachers and parents have been dropping off bags of the play sand at designated centres throughout the country. A violence researcher says New Zealand needs a generations-long awareness and prevention campaign to curb domestic violence. The World Health Organization found a quarter of women have been physically or sexually abused by a partner. Auckland University Professor Janet Farnsworth says the country's It's Not Okay awareness campaign of the mid-2000s was brilliant, but short-lived.
We often talk about it as an intergenerational problem, but I think what we actually mean is that we need intergenerational funding to implement it consistently across whole populations long enough to get the change in behavior that we would really like to see.
Janet Farnsworth says a nationwide campaign should be underpinned with well-resourced advocates teaching people about safe relationships.